of that reaching. So let's inhale, and of course if you got shoulder injuries, modify for your own body. But inhale, reach up, stay up there for the exhale. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start going one arm higher than the other, almost like I'm rock climbing above my head here. And if it doesn't hurt your neck, look up at your hands. Like imagine you're trying to see what you're holding onto. And just let your breath flow here. Stretching, that's it, overhead. Both arms are up. Both arms are up at the same time. Yes, notice I'm not bringing an arm down at my side. They're staying up there. Yeah. Good, you guys. Keep looking up if you can. I know some of you have had frozen shoulder and lost the ability to reach overhead at some point or another. It's pretty common. So we want to keep using our shoulder and keep our shoulder rotator cuff strong. Good, okay. And then bring the arms down. Right? So all the things in our body have got this move it or lose it quality to it. Inhale, roll the shoulders up. And exhale, take them down our back. Good, do that a few times. Our bodies are really efficient, so if we're not using certain areas of our body as much, then the actual little tiny blood vessels decrease in that area, our awareness of that area decreases, so our brain isn't as connected. But the good news is you can regain all of that. So now let's go back and forward. So go back first, squeeze them together, roll them forward. So you can regain all of that, right, just by slowly beginning to connect again. Good, and then just kind of shake out the arms a little bit. Good, and then just with your feet, we're gonna do our bounces, okay, like we're on one of those little mini trampolines, top of head reaching towards ceiling. Yeah, some of you are jumping too, you can do that. You can like actually come off the balls of your feet too, or you can just bounce the heels, whichever you prefer. Okay, let's do it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. Whew, good, just noticing your heart rate. And again, imagine you're carrying something really heavy on the top of your head. So your top of your head is reaching high and your shoulders are just relaxed down your back, so your neck is long. Good, and now let's slow down our exhale. So as you exhale, let's breathe out like you're blowing out through a straw slowly. Good, and then inhale through the nose. And again. Good, and then you can go back to breathing through your nose. Notice if when you're standing, you're clenching your butt muscles. See if you can relax them, okay? Good, and relax the shoulders. Great, let's grab our straps. So I've got a stretchy strap today, but it doesn't matter. It can be a regular yoga strap. Just got to work with it a little differently, depending on what you've got, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to hold my strap in my hands, boom, and I'm gonna take it so there's no slack in it, but you might find, especially if yours isn't stretchy, you might find that you need to widen your arms more, okay? We're gonna try to keep our arms straight this whole time, okay? So look at your arms and straighten them all the way, and then inhale, just take the arms up and overhead. Good. Stretch them up. Just see how this feels. So if you have any shoulder issues going on, you might need to modify, right? Now, could you begin, you might need to widen your hands to take them behind, but keep them straight. Right? So if you find like, ooh, my elbows are starting to bend, widen your hands a little bit and straighten your arms. So some of you are bending your elbows fully. Come back up overhead. Good. Straighten your arms fully. Straighten them. Take the thing wide so you can straighten. Good. You can do this in front of a mirror some other time too, so you can really tell. And start to take them down. Now, if you have any risk of injury, like you've got, you got a shoulder issue, you might not go all the way down. Okay, so you're going to decide how far to go. You can come up and bring it down. Good. So what could you do? I see like maybe a couple of people a little worried about your shoulders. If you're worried about your shoulder, what you could do is, interlace your fingers on your back and stretch your shoulders back instead, okay? Yeah, but if you feel okay and it's just tightness that you're working with, that's okay, okay? Tightness, you just want to take it slow, open things up. How's your neck doing? Then come up, good, and back down. And just bring the strap down now. You can set it to the side. Okay, now from here, we're gonna inhale and take your left arm out to the side. Good, I'm mirroring you guys, okay? So then exhale, let's take the ear, the right ear down to the right. Good, nice. And then with your arm here, let me get a little closer. With your arm here, it's going to reach through the hand. And just notice. And now you can turn the hand, you can turn the shoulder in if you want, or you can turn it the opposite way. You can kind of play around with it and see where you get the best sensation for you right now. And just keep breathing. So your arm is not at shoulder level. It's low like this, your hand, I mean. So bring your hand down, that's it, to this height. It's not up here, it's down here. Good. Keep breathing. Good. And then what we're going to do is keep the head over here, but just bring that arm down. Take the other hand to the side of the head and just gently carry it back up. And pause. Good. Inhale here. And exhale. Good. And then slowly taking the other ear down, bringing the arm out to the side. Good. And just kind of finding where it feels best for you. Remember, it's not up here. Some of you are still high. Down. Bring that hand down. So the hand is like waist height. Yeah. Or hip height. Yeah. And then roll it. Your head is to the side if it feels okay, and you're moving that shoulder in and out. Or holding one position if you prefer. Good. All right, and then leaving the head to the side, just take the other hand and carry it back up. Good. Now you're just going to take your head and send the chin forward, like we're going to do like a little chicken head. Send it forward, and now can you draw it straight back? Send it forward. Can you draw it straight back? Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not lifting my chin. In fact, my chin is staying parallel with the floor. It's trying to come back and make a double chin when it goes back. Yeah, and now can you leave it back, like you're making a double chin, and then just relax it. So instead of having it go forward when you relax it, just keep it where it is, but don't double chin it, okay? Good. Inhale here, and exhale. All right, we're gonna take our chair in front. Now, we're going to be using the chair with one foot on it. You know how we do that a lot. So you might find that you want a piece of furniture next to you or the wall next to you as you do that, okay? So if balance is feeling a little bit tricky today or every day, you want to have something so that you feel safe, okay? Excuse me. Here we go. And what we're going to do is inhale, stand in front of the chair, and exhale, I'm going to bring my right foot onto the chair. So we're not going to float it today. We're just going to bring it right up there, okay? So this is where some balance support might be needed. What we're going to do now is I'm going to see if I can get to the back of my chair without rounding. Okay, now say I couldn't. This is where I might need something on the side of me, because otherwise I would just have to be here with nothing to hold on to. Does that make sense? Okay, so from here, can you back up your back foot? So I'm just kind of wiggling it. So I'm in a lunge on the chair. Yeah. Good, and breathe. Nice, you guys. Stretching the front of this back thigh is what I'm hoping you're feeling. And I'm bringing, see how I just brought my other hand down to the seat? That felt a little more supportive to me. You can do that too. Are you breathing? Good. And then to come up, you're going to probably want to bring that back foot in a little bit first and then stand up. Head inhale, exhale, step it down. All right, how did that go? To me, it's seeming like most of you are doing it, so that's a good sign. Okay, but if you have any questions, let me know. Okay, so now we're going to try to bring the left leg up. You can always move now if you felt like I could have used something on my side, then move over to something for support. Okay, bringing the leg up when you're ready. And then using whatever you're going to use for support, whether it's your leg, something on the side, or the back of the chair. And then scoot that other leg back. And breathe. Good. Just notice how this side feels. And you'll see I'm using my thigh too. I'm just kind of propping my left elbow on my thigh. Feels more supportive right now for me. And breathing. Nice. Yeah. Okay, now to come up, we're going to use an exhale, right? And bring that back foot in and lift up and then step down. Okay. Next, you're going to take your chair, sit on it. So we're going to do that same no load lunge. And this is always an option when we do something like we just did. I could have shown this first, I suppose. You could have been doing this instead. So what we're going to do is let's turn so that both legs go to the left. I'm mirroring here, okay? And now I'm going to use the back of my chair just to hold on to. I'm going to shift so my right hip is not on the chair, so only my left hip is on. And then I'm going to take my right leg and take it back behind me. Now, some of you can't tuck your toes under because of surgeries and such on your feet, so you can always have the top of your foot down, okay? If not, if you can, you're tucking your toes under because we're going to use that as leverage. So what we're going to do is you can see that my hips are tilted forward. See, I'm just cradling them with my hands here. So what I'm going to do is have my hips face up and down. So to do that, I pull my back knee forward and my foot forward. Now, if this puts too much pressure on your knee, you're not going to do that. Instead, you're just going to work from the hip and think about drawing your tail forward, but maybe your knee has to stay straight, okay? And breathe. So again, feeling a stretch here, I'm hoping, through the hip and the quad, and breathing. 2 more breaths, head high. 1 more breath. Good, now to come out, I'm just gonna lean to my left and bring that back leg forward, and then shuffle around to the other side. Now, you might have one knee that gives you trouble, I do, so you might have to adjust how you do it, okay? So you're gonna shift so the outside hip is off. You can use the back chair of the chair for support, send that leg back, okay? And then just think about this pelvis, right? Is tipping forward. Now we want to draw the tail forward instead. So you can bend the knee to do that, or you can just work from the hip if it hurts the knee. Okay, and breathe, go slowly. Chin parallel to floor, top of head reaching up high. Good, shoulders relaxed. Let's take 3 more slow breaths. Good, now leaning back toward the back of your chair, Bring that outside leg forward and shift around. Good. So you always have the option to sit in the chair for some of this ankle stuff. So if you know you want to stay seated, you can stay seated. Okay. Otherwise, we're going to keep our knees as wide as our feet and inhale nose over toes and exhale squat and hover. Okay. Inhale. Exhale, stand. Good. And we're going to roll around the outer edge of one of your feet, letting the knee and hip move. So this is what I meant. You could do this seated if that's what you needed today. And you can do the same thing seated. Head rolling that around. You can look at your ankle in this one so you don't have to have your head held high. That can sometimes help and see what's going on with that ankle mobility. And then let's go the opposite direction, same foot. Let the knee move, let the hip move. All right, other foot. Well, actually, before we go to the other foot, just stand. Let's pause. Take your eyes away from the screen and find something to look at. Soften your eyes. Feel your feet on the floor and notice any difference in the two sides. See if you can just let your arms hang. All right, now let's do the second side. Starting to roll around the outer edge of that foot. You can look at it. Just going to notice what areas are hard to get to, if any. Good. And then go the opposite way. Good. Nice. And now we're just going to come onto the 2 feet. And let's take let's just take the back of the chair in front of you. You're going to stand like a step back. And then as you inhale, stand tall. And as you exhale, step the right leg forward. You can put your hands on the chair and just roll over the top of the foot. Good. And then step back onto that left foot. We're going to lift the toes of the front foot. You can bend the back knee if it doesn't hurt the knee. And just a little lean forward like this. Yeah. And then inhale, step up. Exhale, roll over the top of the foot. Yes. And inhale, come back. Bend the back knee if it doesn't hurt. You can also keep it straight. Lift the front or balance on the front heel as you hinge forward perhaps. And then come back. Okay, so we're just repeating this, stretching the top of the left foot and ankle and the right hamstrings. Good. And these are good movements to do every day, just a few times. It's a good movement break. If you've been sitting for a while doing anything, it's also a good warm-up if you're doing any activity. Good. Now next time we stretch the top of the ankle and foot, let's stay there. So you can adjust it however you feel best. You can always put a blanket below it. If it's really intense for you to stretch the top of your foot and ankle, you can also move in circles a little bit to kind of take the pressure off and come back in. Keep breathing, you guys. And for this one, let's lift the chin parallel to the floor. Look ahead of you on the wall and breathe. Good. Okay, let's step that foot next to the other one. Take a step back from your chair. Notice the 2 sides. Good. Inhaling and exhaling. All right, now we're stepping left leg forward, rolling over the top of the right foot. You can always adjust how you are. And then going back, bending the back knee if it doesn't hurt, and hinging, keeping the front leg straight, and repeating, okay? And just let your breath flow here. So stretching make sure, I know I can't see you guys to harass you in person, but make sure that you're rolling over the top of that foot. Yeah, as best as you can anyway, working with the foot that you've got, right? So you don't lose out on this stretch and articulation of the foot. Noticing any differences on this side. Okay, now let's hold the foot stretch and the ankle stretch. Head held high if you can here, chin parallel to the floor, shoulders relaxed, breathing. Remember, you can make circles to take some pressure off. Circling around. Okay, and then just stepping on the 2 feet, stepping away from your chair for a moment, let's swing and twist. Just letting everything be loose. All right, we're going to have a seat in our chairs. I'm going to show this from the side. And just be sure you know where your blanket is, because you'll need that in a minute. Okay. And then have a seat in your chair and scooting to the front a bit if you can, feet flat on the floor. Good. We're going to inhale, open up the arms and take them back to the backs of your chair, or the, sides here of the chair. Scoot your butt far enough so that so it's actually a reach to get there. Yeah, there you go. And then inhale, you're going to open up the collarbones. So roll the shoulder heads back, straighten the arms if you can. You might not be able to straighten the arms. So if you can, the first step is to try to straighten the arms. Okay, so scoot forward enough so you have room. Good. And then try to roll the shoulder heads back and widen across your chest here. Good, you guys, yes. And then you can also lean a little bit. So you can imagine your chest is leading the way here. It's like you're the figurehead on the front of a ship. So your chest is open across the front, and my arms are keeping me here. If I let go with my arms, I would fall forward. Okay, so I'm really holding and pressing against it. Inhale. And long exhale. Good, inhale again. Good, and exhale, release, letting the arms come down at your sides or onto your lap, either one. Okay, notice how you feel across the front of your chest. Good. Yeah, don't take it too far, okay? Yeah, don't take it too far. I know some of you, I can see because someone's fiddling around with her arm, but some of you push yourselves too much. You don't want to go into pain. You want to stay aware and of what you're doing. And then some of you don't push far enough, right? So it all just depends kind of on your personality. And so you just need to figure out like where should you be in any given moment? What is right for your own body? And only you know that, right? I can guide you, but only you know what's right for your own body. Okay? And sometimes you feel like, well, I don't actually know, and that just takes practice, and that's where yoga comes in with the building of self-awareness. So this time, we're going to try to scoot ahead, and it just depends on how much space you got on your chair, how big your chair is, but I'm wondering if you have enough space to put your hands down, and so it's a little behind my hips here. So you have to scoot forward in order to do that, and you still might not have a lot of space, but see what you can find. So they're back behind me, and I'm going to inhale and spread across the collarbones and lift through the chest. Yeah, that's it. And keep trying to roll the shoulder heads back, but breathe too. Good, and then rest. Good. Just kind of wiggle around a little bit.